project day. I love project days because we get a lot of cool stuff done on project days. We have decided to stay home today simply because tomorrow Christina and I are doing the full marathon to film that and show you guys that from the spectator point of view, which means we're going to have to go to bed early, so we don't want to head out and overexhaust ourselves from the parks today. So on our project today, I want to do some stuff that I'm probably not going to show you guys, which is I'm going to do our cards. So if we see you guys in the park, we can give you a card to say, hey, this is our YouTube channel, The Laugh and Cookie. I'm going to work on getting us a Twitter to connect to our YouTube, a Facebook page to connect to the Twitter, and all of that to connect to the Instagram. And then I also plan on working on a few things like we have a hook at our front door where we keep like our keys and our passes. I am going to make a monorail sort of outline so that we not only will have those hooks for that, but we'll also have a magic band holder to hold our magic bands. I believe that's all when it comes to the projects. Oh, we purchased a photo that is in a frame that we really liked, but seeing as it's an old photo, it's going to have the back is going to have to be cut out because there's a sheet of brown paper across it, and we bought that for our guest bedroom to kind of fit the theme of that. We're going to put our map inside of that, so that's another thing that we're doing today. Just a whole lot of projects to get done so that we can get them done and save them for another day. There is another project that we want to do. We showed you guys Steven the other day, the Dilophasaurus. I plan on taking him and instead of him being a stuffed animal head, making him a hat for another video that we plan on doing. So I will show you how I do that. Should be pretty simple because he doesn't have any overstuffing. Christina's going to show us something. Yesterday on the way home, Christian and I picked her up a new Tsum Tsum set, and she's going to share that with us. But for now, we're going to start right off with the portrait. It is going to be the fastest project to do today. It's just a painting here, and like I said, it's kind of older, just a photograph that's been placed in there. So because the frame is older, it has this paper that I have to remove. And to do that, I'm also going to have to remove these, which are the hooks that are holding this wire together, that holds it up on the wall. So I'm going to be removing those and then doing the paper. So let's see if I can just shake it off of there. There we go. That should be way helpful. Now we just gotta get the cardboard out of the photo and the photo. So I'll be right back. There we go. I've got the cardboard and the photo out of there. Here's the photo. And what I'd like to place in there is Disney once a year used to send you these treasure maps. I'm not sure if they do or not because I don't check into it, but it has the attractions of that year within here, and this actually goes in our Pirates Lair room. So I'm going to put this in here. It does look like it's going to need some back paper so that it looks a little better, but that's the plan. So I'll be right back. I'm going to put that in there, and then I'll show you guys. Here it is, guys. Looks great. Looks a little old. I think I won't even dust it because it gives it that old look. There it is, guys. That's it. I put it together. I even put this right back on here. I did not do the brown paper on the back of it simply because what if we want to change the photo later on? Maybe we get a new updated map. But now it gets hung in our Pirate's Lair room with this nice, beautiful frame. So, project 1 down. Yeah. So the next project is turning this piece of wood into a monorail. Now what we're going to do with that is we're going to make it our key hanger, our pass hanger. It's going to have our magic bands slots for it to sit into. And that's the whole plan for that. Because right now, if I turn the camera ever so slightly, you can see that we have stockings. Now just a little while ago, Christina made us, Christian and I, yip yips to replace our Christmas stockings throughout the year. And we loved them, so I'll show you that video now. This is fantastic when we got them.
Guys, okay, you ready?
Oh.
Yup. Is it a hat? No!
No, it's a stocking.
No.
I still have to.
Okay.
I still have to add the fabric in the inside. That's not how that works.
Nope.
No. These are awesome. Thanks, Christina.
I don't think you guys like them at all. You can adjust the antennas too if you want.
Yup.
Plenty of space. I don't think that's how puppets work.
Nope. Nope.
No.
Wait.
What are you doing? Oh God, what are you doing?
Yup.
No. No. Yep.
This could go on for hours.
These are awesome.
Yup. Ooh, couch.
I made a purple one for myself too, but it's not done yet. I couldn't wait any longer. That's why they're not done yet.
These are great.
These are fantastic.
Thank you, Christina.
You're welcome.
Much very, you think?
Much very.
Then, something you'll notice when I'm doing this is the backside of this is red. The reason why it's red is we do like to recycle wood on things we're no longer making. And if we go into our living room, there is a box in which Shelly Mae and the car and Duffy all sit on top of. That box used to be a chest that I had made. The chest was getting too heavy to move around, so I split the wood back up, and now we're reusing it for this project. After I am done making the monorail, I will stain the wood to get it a better finish. But until then, let's go do this. So I want to mention that I'm going to be using a few tools. First I'm going to use my circular saw, then I'm going to use my scroll saw, and then afterwards my favorite tool, the Dremel, to cut out the shape of the windows. I'm not cutting them completely through, I'm just making sort of the design that they're there. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my circular saw to cut the each side here on the wood to create that monorail look. And I'm going to do that at a 45-degree angle. So I'm going to cut that shape at a 45-degree angle, about 5 inches in to create that slope. At the end of that, I will end up going back and rounding this off because we all know that the monorail is rounded. So I'm going to give that round shape with my scroll saw to bring it back into this. Same with the top here. I'll round it in a little bit on the top to bring it across. And this is going to be the start of our monorail. You can actually also turn this into the Star Speeder over at Star Tours. So now that we're done with the circular saw, I'm going to go ahead and unplug that, close it up the right way it's supposed to go. There we go. Then we're going to unplug that, and then we're going to move to the scroll saw, which is right here. So before I went to the scroll saw, I realized that our monorail didn't have that bottom edge, the bottom rounded edge. So I gave that to that the same way that I gave the top rounded edge to it. Now I've taken and I've drawn the design that our monorail is going to look like, and now I'm going to cut out the outside edges with the scroll saw. So these little pieces like this, down here, around the top, and then I'll come back with my Dremel and I'll do these outlines. So let's start with the scroll saw. Now in reality, a scroll saw sort of runs like a bandsaw does, but instead of a bandsaw which has just one giant looping band around it, the scroll saw uses a singular blade and just moves it up and down. So that's how that works. I'm gonna go ahead and start. Of course, I got my safety gear on. Even though I wear glasses, I should be wearing safety goggles just in case something flies back or in case there's any dust that flies back in my face while I'm doing this. So let's start. And that's the bottom of our monorail. So we got our monorail shape. Now we got to go in with the Dremel and just make the cuts inside. Just the engraving. Now this will go a little farther back, so I'll take that and I'll shave that up really well. I'll also round these edges with our sander, flatten that out just a little bit, and then I'll go in and I'll cut the holes for our magic bands and put the hooks in. So let's work on the Dremel. Now I have mentioned before that the Dremel is my absolute favorite tool. My favorite one, it's the one that does the engraving. It's the one that we did our headboard with. So it is my favorite tool. A lot of times it's just you draw your stencil and then go in and just etch it out, which is what I'm about to do. But another thing that the Dremel has, it has different heads just like this kit, which allows us to go in, and I said I was going to shave away the top portion up here, and it'll allow me to do that. do believe that's all for the Dremel. That's what it looks like so far, guys. Now I get to use my second favorite tool when we're doing stuff like this, and that's my hairdryer. I love my hairdryer because I'm impatient from time to time, so using the hairdryer allows me to paint quicker and get projects done quicker. So what I'll do is I'll stain the wood, and then I will dry it with a hairdryer, and then go back and stain the windows a little darker. I have cut the holes for the magic bands. I forgot to do that. I went to stain and then realized that I did that. So now it's time to stain. So these here are the hooks that we've been using. Put this back on and then screw this whole thing to the monorail itself. That's our monorail hook. Put our magic bands right through these holes, and that'll be it. Cool. Of course, I'll put something on the back to hang it to the wall. But that's it. It is designed by Herb Ryman's concept art of the Disneyland monorail because our house is themed to Disneyland. So, I guess on to the next project, which I believe is Steven. So I hung it up, and here it is. When I hung it up, I realized that we couldn't get to the back of the magic bands. So what I did is I hung it up using hinges. So now we can get up and under to get the magic bands.
I love it.
And it's right next to our Disneyland map.
Look what I got! So for Mickey's 90th birthday, they came out with a Tsum Tsum set for him. Hey, he's got his little birthday bow tie. A big old 90 on his butt, so all of them have a 90 on them. He's got a party hat too. Minnie's got a hat that looks like her new dress at the park, kind of. And a little, what are these things called? Little brrr thing? Are they just called noisemakers?
Birthday horn.
Birthday horn. She's got a birthday horn. It's cute. And then Goofy's got a present. He kind of looks like a bumblebee. I think he's cute. He's excited. Donald's full of confetti. He's not too happy about it, though. But when is he happy about anything, really? 90. And Daisy's got a present. She also has a cute bow. 90! Ta-da. Pluto has the same hat that Minnie does. And the party horn thing. And then Chip and Dale. Chip has a key. We don't really know why. We'll probably figure it out sooner or later. He's got a little party hat too. And then Dale. Oh, he's got like a horn in his mouth. Brr. Yeah. Kind of surprised. Found the whole set. Really thought Mickey would have been sold out by the time we got there. But I got them all. Yay. I don't have a problem at all.
So we showed all Steven before, but Steven is he's a stuffed animal. He's not a hat. We thought he was a hat when we got him because we had some plans for him. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the bottom of him up right along here take out some of the stuffing and then put a hat inside of it. So when I put the hat inside of it, we can just wear him as a hat. So he'll be sewn to the hat. So the first thing I have to do is I have to open the seam here along the bottom. You can see there's a seam all the way around that. That's actually perfect size for me to not only pull the stuffing out, but to put the hat down inside. I'm pulling his brains out! So we have him pinned to the hat. We just gotta figure out how to sew him on. And then another issue we've come across is his, like, scary flap things don't sit up the way we want them, so we'll have to figure that out after he's sewn onto the hat.
The scary land flap.
Christina got here, I passed this project on to her. I was having a little bit of trouble. She's got it almost all the way on the hat. There was a spot that the eye was, like, curling up. But we're going to take that by, like, tacking some of the skin. You can see we've got it pinned down. We just got to sew it. And then we got to figure out how to get his head flaps to stand straight up. We think what we're going to do with that is we're going to either add some of the stuffing back or add another piece of fabric in the back, sort of to lengthen this piece of fabric so that the flaps have more room to spread out. That is the end of our video. We are finished for today for the projects. We did the monorail at the beginning. We did the picture frame to add our photo into it. And Christina finished Steven! Yay! So he is going to make a return in a later video. I can't wait till that moment. I know that Christian and Christina both can't wait for that moment because we have something very special and very funny planned for him. I am still doing some of the technical stuff that I mentioned I was going to do, those business cards, the Twitter and the Facebook page, but they will be done by the time I post this video. So that is the end of our day, which means it's time for me to go watch out for free-range grandmas.